Good morning, gamers.
Good morning.
Wait,
Vietnam.
morning?
What if it's afternoon?
This is not morning for me. I'm
or
sorry.
evening?
We don't know what time people are listening to this.
Then you need to say them all.
Yeah, you need to say
Yeah.
them all. Let's
Like
hear
the
it.
Truman
Be
Show.
Good
inclusive.
time zone gamers. Is that better?
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I'm
Good
sorry, I don't
evening
know that good
and good
time
night.
zone is a
You walk out of the
proper
fake world you live
greeting.
Yes.
Do you know what? Screw it. Hi, people. Is that better?
in. Hello there.
How do you know they're people?
Yeah. Can you
What if
guarantee
there's a
this?
synthetic organism?
Wow.
Hello, any carbon-based or AI-based life form that may or may not be listening and or watching to this episode of Uncalled For.
How do you know they're carbon based? There could be something that's actually
true.
like
Oh my god,
another
screw
form
you
of-
guys.
What about magical beings?
exactly.
Yeah. What if a unicorn's watching us right now?
Welcome to episode 23 of Uncalled For, where every single
We
week...
care about you too, those from
We
the fairy
do.
realm.
We do
Yeah,
care about
we
you.
care about you.
You are
Unicorns.
welcome here.
All
Can I
my
get through the
unicorn
intro?
bros.
Maybe
Can I please get
Eventually,
if you do it.
if you do it
I
right.
tried like 8 times.
You stop though.
Yeah, you gave up.
Where every single Monday we get together, we talk about a bunch of random stuff, and I would like to take just a few seconds to, we're not going to say his name because it's he who should not be named, but a
Voldemort.
half-second moment of silence for our fallen brother of Timothy.
You just said
You
his
just
name.
named
That,
just
that
named him.
was a nickname. That wasn't his real name. So
Pretty
No,
sure it's-
that's
All
his
right,
real name.
moment
It's
of
actually the
silence?
most real name for
No,
him.
no, no. That
That's
was his
full
real
legal
name.
no, it's his real name's Timothy, but I said Timothy.
Well, you just said it
That's
anyway.
you just said it again anyway.
Just shut up. Moment of silence.
That was a fail.
I'm sorry, but we've already had enough moments of
Yeah.
silence for him. He
If
doesn't
you-
get another one out of
No.
me.
F's in the chat if you care enough for the
Yeah.
dead man.
It's true.
All right, there it was, right there. That was like a half second. Perfect. So, anyways, every single Monday night we get together, we talk about a bunch of random garbage, and I don't know who's gonna go first this week. Have we decided? We never know.
I can go first.
Logan wants to go
Okay.
first. All right. Well, Logan,
Do it
let's
to it.
take it away.
Alrighty. So
Logan.
this week, I just want to talk about what are guys' top 5 favorite old school cartoon shows from like the 90s, 2000s era of Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Spongebob #1, no matter what.
So I can go first. So mine are, I do like SpongeBob quite a bit. I'd say that's probably up there. I think going down the list though, it would be Danny Phantom.
Okay.
Then Ben 10. Actually, no, Ben 10 would be higher. I'd probably put. Oh man, I'm trying to think of
God, I
the
haven't thought about Ben 10 in a long time.
Alien Force is the best.
Alien Force is really good,
Hmm.
and it's like for Ben 10, like it hit such a like chord for me because like it grew up when I grew up.
Mm-hmm.
So like I watched the original when I was like that age, and then Alien Force came out about the same time I was a teenager. I was like, the show's awesome. Like it grew up when I grew up, which is sweet. I wish shows still did that because like a lot of shows now just stick with the kid crap. Teen Titans.
That was
Oh,
really my
that's-
number one.
that's
man.
one of
Original
my
Teen
top.
Titans
One of them.
is
That's up
so
there, yeah.
good.
That was a good one.
It's so good.
The original.
One,
One,
but on
yes.
top
Okay.
of that, like
Dang.
Wait, there's a new
Stuff
one?
I'm thinking of.
yeah,
There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
not
Yeah, Teen
good
Titans Go.
version
Teen
of it.
Titans Go. It's like the new
it's
Cal art.
Oh, really?
really
Crap.
dumb.
Yeah.
It's really dumb.
I guess I
I'd
had no
say
idea.
also the Justice League / Batman animated series. Like I just kind of put that universe in one. Like that whole universe
Can't
is
do
sick.
that.
It's hard to pick one of those. I guess if I picked one, it'd be Batman animated series. That show is super good.
That is very, very good, actually.
And then which one? Oh, and then like let's see, Fairly Odd Parents. That's
That was
top
a great
tier
one
for
as
me.
well. That was
Okay.
fantastic.
And then
Doug
SpongeBob.
Dimmadome.
The Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Is that your 5?
I think so.
So we are doing a top 5 list then?
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
so-
enough that you can go through.
There
pretty
are
easy.
enough.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up watching cartoons, I guess, so I could go.
About Pokemon.
That one's up there. I'd say that's an anime though.
Well,
It is, but
So-
It
it
is.
was a cartoon. and
still
you
a
watched
Yeah.
cartoon.
It, so.
It's still a cartoon. Actually, do you think about it? Danny Phantom and Pokemon have like almost the same tagline. Gotta catch 'em all and gonna catch 'em all.
What?
He's
Isn't it-
Danny
he's a
Phantom,
phantom?
gonna catch 'em.
Oh, yeah.
So we I mean, obviously it's gonna be SpongeBob for #1. Ed and Eddie's has to be in the top, and the rest of them are no
have you seen?
specific.
Have you
order.
seen the
Yeah,
like
right.
really
The fan
crazy fan theory about
it's
Ed and
so
Eddie?
cool.
About how it's like
Mhm.
it's
Everyone is dead.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
Wait,
like
what?
Yeah.
It's a sick fan
It's
It's
theory.
like-
really cool.
It makes a lot of sense.
yeah, it
It
actually
really does.
It's like they're in what is it? Not,
It's like Purgatory.
yeah,
Purgatory.
Purgatory.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
it's
like,
really cool.
all of their quirks as characters like explain how they died and like their lives and
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's
and,
why
like,
you never see any of the parents.
Yep.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah,
It's
actually
actually a really good
cool.
theory.
I don't like this.
There's actually like pretty much a lot of those like old Nickelodeon Cartoon Network shows have those theories. I think there's one for. I'm trying to think of the other one that I remember seeing. But there's a few of them out there for those old school shows.
Man, here I was going to be listing off a bunch of stuff, and now you're making me sad. No, but another one that we got is... So, like I said, the last four aren't going to be in any order, because
Yeah.
he threw this on us, 5 minutes before we started. I didn't
Was
have
it
time
even
to
that
think,
long?
So, not even that long.
No.
So, SpongeBob's number 1. Ed, Edd, and Eddy then is going to be in the 2 through 5 range. Fairly Odd Parents, I have to agree with him. That was a fantastic show as well.
So good.
Foster's Home of Imaginary Friends. I love it. One of my favorite shows.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I remember.
Let's see. So that was. So I got 2 more, right?
Oh, have you seen my favorite part of Foster Home for Imaginary Friends is when Blue roasts him because he like they get in a fight. Him and what's the kid's name?
Mac.
Yeah, they get in a fight, and Blue goes, "You don't have any friends. The only friend you had to make up."
True.
I don't know why. One of my favorite moments of that show is when they have cheese.
Oh,
And he's like, "You two go together perfect well." It's like mac and cheese, and then blue cheese, and they're like, "Don't say it! Don't you dare say it!" Blue cheese. And then when I was driving through Topeka, Kansas, obviously I had to quote, "It's hot in Topeka," because you have when you're in Topeka, you have to do that. But
Do you?
yes, you do, Daniel.
Okay.
You have to. Okay, I will fight you on this. That's something you
Alright.
have to do when you're in Topeka. Another great show that I like watching, and this is one that I only watched for a couple years and then I kind of fell off on it, but it was a good show. Was Cat Dog.
I remember Cat Dog.
Like
I
just
remember
the
that.
classic Nickelodeon. And then I'm trying to think. I have one more for my list.
That's a good one. Doesn't make sense anatomy wise, but
Well, it doesn't make. Well, duh. It's like worse than Human Centipede.
poop?
yeah.
Exactly. There's no
They
butt.
don't. They throw up on the other side.
Oh.
How do they determine which one eats the food?
Man, how much
It's
corn
just
did you
whoever
eat?
eats it first goes the other side.
It's like tug of war constantly. The food.
Oh God, no.
The food particles hit each other in the middle. You never know what's gonna go.
That's how they get constipated. Is they both eat at the same time. And it
Did
just
you know their
blocks them.
mother was Bigfoot?
What?
Have you never seen the Cat Dog movie?
No.
They go on a journey trying to find their parents, and they end up finding their parents, and it's Bigfoot.
That's.
Are you
funny.
serious?
Not the actual parent. The Bigfoot who took care of them as their mother found them when they were a baby, so they never figure it out.
I need to watch this now.
It's a movie.
It is a movie.
I feel like this needs to be something that we watch and then we talk about on another episode. Like that just sounds beautiful. It'd be like a movie review. Talk about the Cat Dog movie.
Alrighty.
And I'm trying to think. I got one more. I mean, I could say Pokemon because I loved that growing up, and I watched the first movie all the time. So that because it has one of my all-time favorite jokes.
You say it all the time, Jordan.
I love it. Such a good joke. I didn't know Vikings existed. They're mostly in Minnesota. Would you stop?
was-
That has to be loud. That
That's
has
what you get for saying that stupid joke again.
that has to be loud for everyone watching. Like, would you just stop?
ASMR, you love it.
Stop rubbing your beard on the mic. You can do it before the stream and after the stream, but during, please, I beg of you, don't make the people leave.
No,
Okay.
they're gonna stay.
Daniel.
I mean, it's a soothing. Well, I don't know if it's really a soothing sound, but hey, it feels good when you're doing it. You know?
Well, yeah, it feels good when you're
Soothing
doing
on
it,
the
but that's
beard.
not something that they need to hear.
It was unconscious, okay, Jordan.
Just list off your cartoons.
Okay, I mean I can. We skip Weston.
I can jump in here, I
You
guess.
got her.
Okay. I know one of them that's a carryover for me is Ed, Edd, and Eddy. I loved that show growing up. These are in no particular order, by
Yep.
the way. Just because it'd be way too hard for me to actually organize them in my head in a
yeah.
short time.
That's why I did
But-
SpongeBob 1. The rest of them were just
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of
have any
So-
particular order in mind either.
Yeah.
Ed, Edd, and Eddy is definitely in my top list. Another one for me, I mentioned this before, Samurai Jack.
That's a good
I
show.
love that one.
Fantastic.
It was so well done. Let's see, another one. Oh gosh, I had a bunch of these before it came to me, but one of them that I really loved growing up. This one's even a little older yet. Thundercats.
No, I remember Thundercats.
Heyo.
That was actually one of my
The
favorite
original,
ones.
and then they remade it again.
Yep.
and
The
then they
remake was
remade it
decent,
again.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
The
a
first
decent
remake.
one,
Wasn't
but
it
they didn't get very far into the
Yeah.
remake.
Wasn't
and
that
then
in
they
the
stopped.
80s?
The
Thundercats?
original?
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah.
That's the second time this week that's been brought up now to me. Someone
I-
brought it up on stream the other night,
The
and now
same
you're
with
bringing it up
Masters
again
of the
here.
Universe.
I,
The
don't
He-Man
know. I
TV show.
really enjoyed Thundercats, though. I grew up on it, and it's good. A lot of the themes were incredible, you know? Like, one of them that I still remember to this day was the story of, like, little people and, like, how they lived, like, an entire lifetime in just, like, a day.
Mm-hmm.
And just the dynamic of that. It still stuck with me to this day, so...
Yeah.
And phenomenal one for anybody who gets the chance to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Another one was actually brought up. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I watched the heck out of.
Oh, dude, I
It was
forgot
so
about that.
Good. It's so good.
It's scary.
So
It's-
scary.
For when I was young.
For a kid's
yeah,
show? Holy
It
crap.
was terrifying.
So I think the scariest part of that whole show ever is the episode with the slab, the cursed slab, and you get like King Ramsay's "Return the slab." Like, how you remember that one? It's like
Yeah,
the
a little bit.
creepiest.
There's so many
There's
scary.
so many
that,
scary ones.
That is single-handedly the creepiest moment in any cartoon. Like, I remember growing up, that actually was like almost nightmare-inducing because it was, and
I'm trying
I
to
think it was
think of
because
all
it was
the
a
scary
different
ones,
art
Well,
style.
so all of it is because the atmosphere, like it's they make the point of it's the middle of nowhere. Like there's nowhere around that's for miles and miles that can get help, and it's like it just adds to the atmosphere of the
Like,
show.
Gosh, the Weremole episode
Yeah,
where Muriel gets bitten and she like tunnels underneath the floor and like jumps and like bites
Oh,
the
yeah.
floor and stuff.
Yeah. So I actually, speaking of courage, I actually saw a theory on that where they didn't live in the middle of nowhere, but because they were both so old, they couldn't take him out on walks, and so in his mind, he was in the middle of nowhere because he never saw anything else.
There's lots of fan theories
There
for
are
Courage.
lots.
interesting.
So like, since it was a perspective from the dog, you know, so like he in his mind, there's nothing else except for his house because that's all he knows because he never gets to leave because they're too old to take him anywhere. That was one theory I saw, and I was like, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense.
What is it like? The like really jacked like hamster that steals one of them in the sewers and keeps them tiny like in their hamster cage with the guy who like says that's Mylint the entire time.
Dude, I need
And they
to
have
watch
that really
that show
creepy
again.
song,
Yeah.
and they just like jump off like some huge waterfall from a sewer on like jet skis.
Yeah,
Do they have that on Prime?
How
Video,
is
do you
that
think?
a kid's show?
Gotta
Like,
say.
how do you come up with that garbage?
I know.
I
That
don't
was the
know,
golden
but-
age
crazy.
cartoons.
Yeah, I loved that one, and that was actually one of the only cartoons my mother sat down and watched with me. So that's another part of the memory for
That
that.
is.
Interesting.
So she also enjoyed it. So I know it's got to be good if my mother sat down and watched it with me. So let's see, that's 4 of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a 5th one, just to be different. Let's see, what's something I watched a lot when I was oh, there's a bunch that I watched when I was a child. Let's see, which one do I want to go with? Because I know Pokemon was already mentioned, so I'm not going to add that one into my
I
list.
mean,
I could take
could, but
Pokemon out and add Courage
typically,
if you wanted me to.
honestly-
I mean, I think it's just kind of a given that's going to be one of my
Yeah.
favorites.
Yeah.
So,
gosh, there's so many.
there's so many. You know, I think I'm going to go for my 5th one here. Hey Arnold. That one
I
was
was gonna say that
phenomenal.
one.
Oh,
Arnold was
that's-
really good.
That was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Move it, football head.
That one was really good.
So, do you guys
Each
remember
episode
the?
was so unique in that
It
show.
was,
Do you
right?
remember the Hey Arnold movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
When
I
he
actually
tries to find his
remember.
parents.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was about, but I do remember going and seeing that with my brother and my grandma. And I don't know why, it's a memory in my head. I think it's the only time that we ever had the entire theater to ourselves. My brother, my grandma, myself were the only 3 people in the whole theater for that movie.
That's an awesome moment.
It was like really cool, you know, because I mean, obviously, no one else is there to bug you.
Do
We
you
talk
remember
about that all
when
the time.
was it Tommy and Carrie watched through the whole everything of Hey Arnold and then the movie and like scoured the internet trying to figure out who his parents were and couldn't figure it out?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
You don't know.
Yep. No.
I remember those times.
That's just when you start making things up.
Yeah. That was a great show.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was
a good show.
phenomenal. Lots of good choices, but I think I'm going to go with those as my 5.
Those are good.
Good options
That's
for
really
sure.
good. All right, Dan.
Doug.
Oh, so
Oh,
good.
I
I
remember
think I
that.
watched
Yeah.
Doug was my stuff, man. Quail Man, the first
So-
superhero.
Yes.
I remember Doug, but I never really watched it that
Oh,
much.
so good.
I can
Yeah.
picture it. I know who he is, but in my
Yeah, that's
I
kind
just-
of where I'm at.
Doug and his dog pork chop.
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I couldn't tell you anything from the show.
So good. But Doug was I always loved Doug. Samurai Jack and Teen Titans are always awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But just going new Batman Beyond.
That was a
Ooh,
good
that was one of them that
So
I was
good.
That was a
considering.
very good
That
one.
was really,
So
really
well
good.
done.
Terry McGinnis.
Because that was
That was right after the animated series.
Yeah.
And it was like,
well, Batman. Is that where it was like the younger Batman and then Bruce Wayne was the older?
it was like the
Yeah.
future.
like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
okay.
Old Bruce Wayne.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
I remember watching that. I just
Yep.
can't remember what
Phenomenal
it was called or whatever.
series.
So good.
Terry McGinnis,
Make that into a movie,
the
Dan.
son of
Mm-hmm.
Batman.
Yeah. Which is he actually his son or is it
Yeah,
a clone?
It
isn't
was
it?
clone.
I think it was a clone.
Was it a clone? I
It
thought
was
they
clone.
used his DNA to like impregnate his mom or something. Right?
I don't know. He
'Cause-
was artificially made,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
Either
he
way,
was
he's a
artificial.
clone or he's the son of Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
They,
but
say that
Batman
on-
Beyond
is that
was
the
so
movie, or
good.
Is, it the,
There was a movie, The Return of the Joker.
is that the movie they
was a
show
really
that
good
in,
one.
or is it the final season they show that?
I think it's the final season.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that movie's good. I like that movie a lot, though.
Yeah, that one's really, really good.
Mm.
Turn
Mhm.
the Joker.
Let's see. The Last Airbender.
Oh,
Legend of Korra.
So good.
Both of them, fantastic.
yes.
Fantastic.
Those are great.
Like, those are top tier above probably
They,
everything.
they really
100%.
are.
They got added on
Ooh.
Netflix recently, didn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we watched through them all as a group. It
they're
was really
so
awesome.
good.
But I don't know. Like you said, Alien Force is really good. Ben 10 Alien Force.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, that show's so. I don't know. Just
Yeah.
that it's very good, like mature. Like anybody could sit down and watch it. Like that's what I miss about the Cartoon Network shows. Is like they were always geared towards everybody. Like they were kids shows, but they had storylines.
A lot of them were. Yeah.
They had actually good plot points, and nowadays they're just stupid one-off episodes of everything, and there's nothing really important going on. It's just, oh, how
Mhm.
funny and stupid can we be? Like, I kind of miss the old school.
Oh, they're moronic episodes. Don't
Yeah.
get me started on that stuff.
Like-
That's one of my topics.
What, like,
Like
new school
Old school
cartoons?
versus
Yeah.
new school.
Oh,
literally
God, not
like
even a debate.
the one show I can think of that I enjoyed from was kind of like the start of that was Adventure Time,
I
and
hate
even
that
then
show.
Adventure Time I only like the first few seasons because it got super stupid after that.
Oh,
But
I know what that one is. Yeah,
some of the humor in it is actually really funny.
Sure,
but-
yeah. But it's so lazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, you
Like-
know what new cartoon I actually really enjoy is Rick and Morty, but that's not like
That's
a kids
not.
show.
Yeah, I wouldn't
No.
count that.
It's a cartoon.
It's just an
though.
animated series.
Yeah.
That's not like a. It's not like a Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon show. Like it's an Adult Swim. Like
but it's still a cartoon.
yeah, but
It's an animated series.
It's
Yeah.
it's an
Animated
Cartoon
series.
literally means it's for kids.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that.
Yep.
So
But-
Because there's animated mature series like Archer, if you've ever seen Archer
Yeah.
before.
I know what
That's
it
not
is,
for kids.
yeah.
It's not a
they're
cartoon.
like
Yeah.
Family Guy and American
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah,
Like,
stuff like
those
that.
are great.
Yep.
But,
But,
yeah, I think another one that I didn't. I don't know why. This is probably my number one actually. Is the like 2000s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
TMNT was
That
really
show
good.
was so
Mm.
good. Like I grew up on that, and like I was obsessed with the Turtles growing up, and
Not the
like-
CGI one, the actual
no,
animated
yeah,
one.
like the
Mhm.
animated one where it's like it's more gritty, and
That one was really good.
that was like I think it's 2003 that one started. Yes, that one is the one I grew up on. That one I love.
That flies. Really
And then it
really
went
good on
into
me.
then it went into like the future after a while, and yeah,
It skipped all around. I remember that was a good show. Yeah,
that was really
It
good.
was good.
yeah, lots of them, lots of good ones back there, man.
Oh, so many.
It's
Mhm.
gone
So
downhill
many.
so bad.
It
Yeah,
has.
It is.
we can definitely talk about that another time though,
That's
because
yeah,
that's
that's a topic.
Mhm.
for
that's a
another day.
whole other
Yeah.
discussion.
But-
Yeah.
yeah,
It's down. Lots of good cartoons, man.
Really
Very
From back
good.
in the day, and we're not even talking about like Spider-Man the animated series
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah,
Oh.
we didn't even get into a lot of them.
yeah.
If you would have given us more time, Logan, we could have
That
had
wasn't
it,
Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network. That was something else. So
but still.
That's for kids, right? Or what?
no, that was like the CW before it was the CW. WB.
Oh yeah, WB.
That's
I think
WB,
that's what Ninja
yeah.
Turtles was too. Actually, now that I think about it.
All right,
But
that's good stuff.
All
That's
right.
fun.
So what way do you want to go down the table? You want me to go next?
Trip down memory lane.
Sure.
You want to work our way this way?
that works.
Can.
All right. So my topic for you guys,
I'm waiting.
and okay. I mean, you don't have to sound so excited.
That was
Oh,
my excited
we're
voice.
ecstatic.
Go ahead.
So
Clone Wars is really good. Yeah.
since the the beginning of humanity, we have domesticated wolves for dogs, and we've domesticated like cats, right, and a bunch of other animals. What animals aren't domesticated that you wish were? Like, I would love to have a pet bear. Like, can you imagine a small grizzly bear or like a small black bear or something as a pet? What animal is not domesticated that you would just love to have? Because I think having a black bear or a grizzly bear or just something would be awesome to have, you know? I mean, we have, you know, like wolves and, you know, big cats are both been domesticated over the years and evolved over the years to become different. It's like, you know, it's more of a pet, I guess, you know? Because, like, some people have pet wolves. Some people have pet tigers or whatever. But, like, it's not common, you know? I want a bear. And someone here in chat says that they want a domesticated shark. I mean, that would just be a big aquarium or something. And people do have sharks and tanks and stuff too. But what do you guys want that there isn't?
I think it'd be sweet to have a panda. Just like
That would be actually kind of
big
cool.
chillin'. I like pandas. They're pretty.
But like,
sweet.
would you want a full size one or like a small version? Like, because I mean, obviously, you know,
I want
Full-size panda.
Full size panda.
Full
man.
size.
full size panda as a pet.
Yeah, pan. That's what I
See,
name it.
Panda Kai.
I feel like that would be like really messy.
What?
It's
I
the
mean,
same thing as a bear, dude, but
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
Well, I said like a smaller
less
version.
messy.
Like, I mean, because, I mean, dogs are smaller versions of wolves for the most part. Like, a lot of dogs are smaller. You know, cats are smaller
Similar.
version of the big cats that they domesticated and evolved over the years. So,
Yeah.
domesticated T-Rex, Ace? Really? They're not
Something
even
that exists
alive.
right now. I would domesticate an emu so I could take over Australia.
Yes. Well, you just got to build one. Because
That's
they're not
true.
real, so.
That's true. We'll just
It's true.
buy the kit from the government, you know? That's actually, okay. I mean, that's fair. You get enough of those
Where I
drones
get
and-
one, I get more.
You can
Get
can
enough, you
program
win
them.
wars.
program them.
It's for you,
I'm not
PK.
sure. I'm trying to think.
Because here's my logic for wanting a bear, right? I mean, everyone has the dogs and the cats and stuff, and like they're super cute, they're cuddly. But have you ever just seen a little baby bear, like pictures of them, or just even like full-grown bears, and you're like, I just want to go up and give that thing a hug?
No, because they're terrifying.
because
No,
would
they are
eat
so
you.
cute, dude.
They are really not.
Dude, bears are adorable. Like
Teddy
just,
bears.
just think about it. Like a nice, fluffy grizzly bear. You could just go up and be like, all right, you're my pet.
No.
You know, and you just keep it.
And then you see
They-
his paw and his claws that are bigger than your head. And it
Yeah,
just
but that's why I
crushes
said a
you.
smaller version. Like for
You
the
can't
pet.
just pick smaller versions. You get what you get.
Okay, well, I mean, either way, then we'll just get a smaller version, or like the normal size grizzly, and I'll have that as a pet, or black bear. I guess if we're gonna go full size, I want black bear because they're smaller.
Yeah, I don't
Or a
find
sun bear.
I don't
They're even
find
smaller.
bears cute at all. Like they're very.
You really don't think so?
No, they are some of the most like they kill just to kill for fun, and they're like, there's probably some of those vicious animals on the planet.
But they're so cute.
Do they? I think that's Wolverines.
Bears do
Wolverines
too.
do.
Well, and
Wolverines
then
kill
bears-
for fun.
Some varieties of bears.
Yeah, and like some bears also like they don't like a lot of animals will kill their prey and then eat. Bears will just start eating you. They don't care. Like if they got you, they'll just start eating your guts, and they don't put you.
Those
in your
ones
bag.
that go
See-
kind of crazy are the ones that have killed humans before, though.
Yeah.
This is
Outside
why
of
if you're
that,
going to a
that's-
bear, you just make it a nice battle mount, and that way you just ride it into battle because that's what they're best for.
Yo, dude, we could take over cities with a bear.
Uh,
We'll
That happens
ride-
with most animals that attack and kill a human. That's outside the norm, but
Yeah.
they have that bloodlust then already.
Yeah.
mhm.
Same thing happens with wolves and wolves. That usually doesn't happen, you know.
No, I'm just talking in general. Like
Yeah.
when like bears catch salmon and stuff, they don't like kill the salmon first. They just start eating it.
Well, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
salmon.
and
they
like
don't
stuff
count.
like that. Like they don't like kill their prey. They just start eating it.
I like this comment. I want a domesticated cheetah or elephant. I mean, cheetah, cat. You know, like there's pet
Well,
cats
it's a
already.
big cat,
but
it's not one of those.
well, yeah, but I mean, have you ever? What are they called? The God, what's the big cat? Something coon or something.
A Maine Coon?
Maine Coon, yes. That I was gonna say. I knew it was a state coon. I couldn't remember. Those are big cats. I mean, that's basically a cheetah right there. You know?
Oh, no, it's
like-
nowhere near the size of an
Cheetahs
actual
are
cheetah.
massive.
No,
Cheetahs
I
are
know
actually
it's
big.
not. But I mean, like, if you want a big cat as a pet, like, there you go. That's your pet. But an elephant, you know, get a mini elephant. We evolve them over time to be small. You You can have
What's
a
up
little.
with you and making miniature animals?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, you're not gonna have a pet
Is
elephant.
this Spy Kids 2?
Is there gonna be a full size elephant sitting on my couch right now, Logan? Is that possible?
No.
No, that's
It's
why
also
you get
not possible to have a domesticated elephant anyway.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. If you could have one animal like small and domesticated, what would it be? That's the topic, Logan. You're thinking realistically. I'm thinking in a perfect world, you could have anything
Aren't
you
you
want.
all about being realistic? You can't take things seriously because it's not logical.
Okay, we're not going back to
Are
2
you
weeks
sure?
ago. Shut up, Dan. No.
I don't know. I think I'd probably go with the elephant myself, just because they're so smart. They're actually one of the most
They're really
intelligent.
cool.
They're like pretty well sentient.
Dude,
So-
elephants are really cool. So, do you remember? You grew up in Spencer, like you.
Yeah.
Do you remember Arnold's Park back in the day having that elephant? Where the log ride is at now?
No,
They-
my parents did not usually take me to like Arnold's Park when I was
Okay,
young.
because my grandma would take me there all the time, and I remember they would like let you feed this elephant at Arnold's Park, and it would do tricks, and like they had it trained, and it was always so cool to me going and being able to feed this elephant peanuts out of your hand, you know. And it was
Too bad
always
it was
fun.
abused.
I don't care, Logan.
I
It was
know.
a fun memory I had as a kid. Don't try to ruin
You
it for
enjoyed
me.
it, the abusing of animals, the gentle giants.
I was a kid.
It's like Dumbo, but
It's like
dark.
a 4 or 5 year old. You don't know
Dumbo
better.
is kind of dark.
It really
It
is.
is. It is really dark, actually.
Yeah, because I seriously, I'm gonna be on board with the bear. I think that's gonna be it. You know, it seems perfect. It seems like, I don't know. I can just imagine you just get like a little black bear. You can just snuggle up with it. You know, it'd be so cute. It'd be the perfect pet.
Would
Yeah.
it?
I think so. I mean, you guys are gonna question everything I say anyways, just because it's me.
Usually.
But I think that'd be a great pet. Like, I don't know. So you think
I think a panda bear would be
You think
sweet.
Panda.
Panda would be actually pretty cool.
Weston thinks elephant?
It'd also be really
a
cool
red
just to
panda.
ride an elephant.
It
Red
would be
pandas
really
are
cool.
awesome.
A red
That-
panda.
Ooh, red pandas.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really sick.
Yeah, like just get a whole bunch of domesticated red pandas. That'd be awesome.
And then
I know
it could, like,
Christian would love that.
whoop.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That Christian
Emma,
actually
sorry,
showed
not
me the
really.
other day at work. He showed me a dog costume that's a red panda, and it's really kind of crazy how it makes him look like a red panda.
Well, let's not get off topic and start talking about animal costumes you find on the internet now, because we learned our lesson last week.
Yeah.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, red pandas are sweet. They're really cute.
I mean, they're pretty great for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Pandas are just my spirit animal because they're lazy and they just do nothing. And also, when me and Trevor and Christian watch
It's
We Bear
funny when they
Bears,
sneeze.
yeah. But then also when we watch We Bear Bears, like me, Trevor, and Christian,
You watch what?
We Bear Bears. It's like a
Yeah,
newer
they're
cartoon. It's really funny actually.
What is
Nah.
it?
It's
It's a
these
little
three bears.
tiny kids cartoon.
It's these three bears. One's a grizzly, one's a polar bear, and one's a panda. They're called Pan Pan, Ice Bear, and Grizz. And they just like they're these homeless bears that just
Is that
go
why
and
you
do
call
stuff.
Trevor
Like,
Grizz?
and so Pan Pan literally is like my spirit animal because in the show he just like he's got a phone and like he constantly gets rejected by girls and like is constantly getting picked on, and he's also like always sick and like it's I don't know. You'll have to watch the show, but
So are you saying you're constantly getting rejected by girls?
yeah. So, but no, it's a hilarious show. My favorite episodes are the ones where they're kids, and like,
But it is a kids show, you said, right?
yeah, there's
It's
some.
not a cartoon. Like, it's a kid's show, a little kid's show.
Oh, like it's not even a cartoon? What is it then?
It's got
Well,
some
it's a
good
cartoon,
jokes in
but
it
it's
though.
a little
Oh.
kid's show.
It's got some good jokes in it though.
Like, for toddlers.
Like there's this one
It's dumb.
episode.
Is it basically like the TV equivalent of Coco Melon?
No, not
Like same
no.
target audience?
It's just one of the
Probably.
newer Cartoon
Probably
Network
roughly
shows.
therein.
It's the same target
is not
audience
Cartoon
as Coco
Network show?
Melon.
Yeah, it is.
That is?
Yeah,
Why?
it's one of the new Cartoon Network shows.
All right, now we're definitely going into how new school is just
Lit-
stupid.
It is not like Cocomelon. First off, it is.
Well,
it is
no, but
more,
like the target audience is the
no,
same
it
as
is
Coco
more.
Melon?
No, it's not that
like
young.
Peppa Pig.
It's like no, it's not that young.
Oh God, even
There's
worse.
there's actually like good like there's one episode when it's like so there's episodes where they're like kids like they're baby bears and there's adult bear ones and they kind of switch between the two sometimes. And one of the baby bear episodes, like the whole arc of them as baby bears is they're homeless and they're trying to find a place to live, and they're like on the side of this road in Nevada, and they're like just in this box, like living in this box trying to get hitchhiked, and this guy's sitting there, and he takes their box, and he's like, one of them's like, "Hey, dude, you're you're taking our like spot or whatever. He's like, you're using, or this is a free country, man. Like, just like, dude, it's a free country. And he goes, you're using your freedom poorly. And then Grizz goes, hey, bite him in the shins. And the ice bear goes and attacks him in the shins. It's really funny, actually.
Can we just take the moment to appreciate that Logan admitted that he likes homeless babies?
Hold up now. That is not what I said. There's nothing that I got out of that, or that I said that would make you think that.
You said they were homeless and they were baby bears, and it was funny and you enjoyed it.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's a stretch.
Are you CNN or what? Like,
I mean,
that's exactly what they do.
we can stretch the truth as much as we have to.
But another episode that I really
That
liked,
he
it
is.
was like
Terraria. That
they
he is.
they find this $100 bill, and they like
Stop talking about Weeber Bears.
they take care of it like
That's
we're
how
done.
it typically is, isn't
No,
it?
it's so
I don't
funny.
care about your Happy Tree Friends without the killing.
That's kind of what it is, yeah.
I know. It's dumb.
That show's funny though.
Happy Tree
Dude,
Friends
Happy
is
Tree Friends was
is
the
only
best.
cool because it's messed up and they kill each other.
But yeah, they find a $100 bill, and they take care of it like a baby. And one of them comes in, he's like, "Oh, Hundy, I'm home."
Okay. You get me with the pun.
Moving on.
You get me with that.
It's a great show.
I think it's time to move on past
Yeah.
We Bear Bears.
No, it's a great show though. Trevor can agree.
Yeah, I don't
feel
believe-
like-
I don't take that into consideration at all.
I don't think. Have you watched the full episode?
Probably not.
Do we need to?
I don't think we do.
I think
I
Just
don't
based
feel like
off
it's
of-
necessary.
Just based off of what I heard, I don't think we actually need to.
I think you would actually.
I
like
think having a pet bear is one thing. Having a
Yeah.
whole cartoon about
No.
it's another.
No, I think you would actually like it though. It's got some
because of
actually
the
good humor.
puns, or is it?
It's got some good humor actually. Dan just hasn't given it a shot yet.
Oh, the way that Dan's described it, though, I don't know if I really want to.
It's not as kid. It's not like super baby like Dan's making it out to be.
My Little Pony.
No, it's not that.
Oh.
Young. It's not that young. It's literally just like a
My Little
newer.
Pony is actually made for older people. Did you know that?
Okay, so what?
Bronies.
What do you think the target audience is?
I would say, I don't know,
I don't watch the
probably
show.
10 to. I'd say, I don't know, whatever. Like, I'd say it's the same audience as like your Codename Kid Next Doors, or like it's not
Okay.
as like adult, but like that's kind of like the new, shows.
So
in that
when
10
I
to
go
14.
to my
10 to 14, I guess. Yeah.
when I go to my cousin's kid's birthday party, they turn 3, and I ask.
I doubt
what-
they would.
I ask another one though that's there, like one of the other cousin's kids. He is 9 or 10, I believe. If I ask him if he knows the shows, and he says no, that's for babies, then I guess that will be our answer. Oh,
Yeah.
is this?
This is what it looks like. It's just a newer Cartoon Network show.
So
Oh.
bad.
Does this say
We've
the
already
target
understood.
audience?
Come to the understanding that
Mm.
the
I
new
mean,
school
all new
cartoon
cartoons are.
Cal art garbage is
They try to be
exactly
politically
that.
correct.
Yes.
garbage. That's just lazy.
This show's content is fine for kids, but teens and adults might have a better understanding of the humor, since it relates to stereotypes and raises our technological-driven society. So,
Yeah, that technological driven society with homeless bears on the side of the road.
Mm.
Hitchhiking.
it's really funny, actually.
I mean, I can always get into bears attacking people like that. Just
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll show you an episode. It's pretty funny.
if you show me them attacking people, then maybe I'll be in. But otherwise,
I'll show you that episode, and then they later on go to like this Amazon factory, and they just make forts out of the boxes, and it's really funny actually.
I mean, that would be something I want to do though. Is like just go to a
Mhm.
place with a bunch of boxes and make a fort and have like some sort of a Nerf gun war or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
That'd be
that's kind of what
fun.
they do, and then they fight, and then they have a song about getting back together, and it's really funny.
What is this, High School Musical? We're all
Well,
in this together.
Logan does love those, so
That's
He
true.
does.
He does
I do love
it.
those.
He does.
That's
I
a
will
fair
stand
point.
by that.
He talks about how much he loves those all the
no
time.
one's perfect.
I don't really talk about that much.
No, it's not that much. I just have to give you some.
All right,
crap
we should
for
probably
it, but-
move on though.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so over to me then.
Sure.
Yeah,
I guess so.
All right, so mine was picked way before Logan's, and I also have a top 5. So,
that works.
Jordan, I'm sorry, you're not going to enjoy this one quite as much.
Yeah,
So, but my top
That
5.
means less time though, since it's only 3 people.
That's true. Mine is actually kind of a continuation from what we did a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I had us give off our top 5 video game soundtracks. This week, we're going to do our top 5 anime soundtracks.
Yeah.
I'm ready, Weston.
Okay.
Pokemon's number 1. That's the only one on my list. Now goodbye.
Okay.
What about the other Pokemons?
Yeah.
Pokemon is the only one. That's the only one on my list. Now goodbye.
All right. So for mine, it's kind of a fluid list a little bit because, my gosh, there are some of them that are just so good that they, like, depending on my mood, they just flip in and out of the top 5.
Fairy Tale.
Oh, it's definitely in there. You know this. I love the fairy tale music. Some of the others, though, don't quite make it some might expect of me to put in there. But so I'll get this one out of the way because everybody knows it's in there. Fairy tale. Let's be real. The music, it just gets me every time, you know? It's one that I can actually think, and in my head, I can play the music to it. That's how good the soundtrack was, is I can think back on it and I know the music, you know? I can't say that about every anime I've watched. Another one that I just absolutely love, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
It's very good.
I mean,
Metal Alchemist.
just all of it,
Metal
all the way through. So, very solid. Another one, this is one of them that every time I listen to it, it hits me in the feels. July and April.
Yeah, I have that
Oh,
one.
that one's
So good.
It is so
so
well
that
done.
main theme
Oh,
is tears every time.
so good.
oh, it just rips my heart out every time I hear it, you know? Another one would be Attack on Titan. I wasn't the biggest fan of a lot of the stuff in that show, but the soundtrack I thought was really well done, and it most always matched the actual atmosphere of the episode or the scene.
Yeah.
So
It's very bombastic.
very bombastic. Kind of gets you in the mood, gets you pumped, energized, or sometimes gets you down into that mood, you know?
It's well done.
So it was really well done. And then the last one on my list for this time is Made in Abyss. That was a phenomenal one that I really
Weston.
loved.
Weston.
What?
Took it.
So
Yes.
I loved Made in Abyss just as a whole. It was a phenomenal anime.
It's so good.
So, and the soundtrack,
Top tier.
oh,
really
I have it in my car.
I'm telling you, if there was a gourmet soundtrack, that'd be on that list, you know?
Like, you have the physical CD of it in
yeah.
your car?
Yep.
I do.
Yeah.
so,
It's so good.
So good, so good. I could not have made this without that one. That one's just definitely toward the top of the list.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
I got mine.
Yeah, you go for it.
My number 1 and 2 are tied pretty much. Made in Abyss and Tower of God.
oh, Tower of God was so good too. That was one of them on my honorable mentions.
They are made by the same composer.
Really?
Yes, Kevin Penkin. He's a British dude who just got into that stuff not too long ago. Fantastic. He's won awards for both of them.
Deserving.
Those are so good.
They are
Very good.
phenomenal.
They're top tier. I'll throw out Your Line April since you already made it. Ghost in the Shell.
Oh,
Yoko Kanno, I believe, is the person who created those.
Scarlett Johansson.
She, I think she won a Grammy for her OST for Ghost in the Shell. Like, I think in the 1990s, before anime was even a big thing over here. And she won a Grammy for it. That's how good it is.
When did
Yeah.
anime kind of work its way over
late
to the
90s,
US?
right?
I mean, it's always been here.
Well, like, when
Right.
was
I'd
the
say, like,
it's
big
become
boom?
90s.
super
When-
prominent.
When was the big boom?
Late 90s,
Yeah,
probably.
late
okay.
90s.
That one's awesome. Samurai Champloo
oh, that one was.
is really good. It's kind of a unique one. It melds modern hip hop and like anime, like feudal Japan. So it's a normal anime, but it's set to like hip hop beats and stuff. It's like really unique, but
It was really well done.
it's very very good. And just to add another one, I guess Violet Evergarden
Oh,
actually is fantastic. It's a
agreed.
newer one. Came out a few years back. Super good OST. Check that one out. Got a couple movies that are good too.
Yeah.
That will
True.
get your heartstrings going too.
It will.
So.
And there's more, but go ahead, Logan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. So mine is kind of has a lot of the same ones, just because they're so
They're
good.
so well done.
I think one that was not said that's on my list, and
Missing
mine
out,
aren't in any
Jordan.
particular order, but Fire Force.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Fire Force.
The soundtrack, I like the music in that show. Like, it's got really good music overall. But the sound design is
It is
amazing.
well played.
The way they do the explosions with the fire,
Mhm.
and like, oh, it's so well done. So that one's definitely up
It's
there
very,
for
very
me.
good.
Your Lie in April, I have to put that on mine. Like, it
It's-
literally is some of the most beautiful music I've ever heard. Like, it is, and it's so well done. Like, it's so integral to the story, obviously, because that's kind of the main story is musicians and piano playing and stuff like that. And Oh, it's so good. And then I'd probably say Tower of God. That one's really good. I love the soundtrack for Tower of God. Overall, that's just a great show. I can't wait for season 2 of that, honestly.
Agreed.
And then I would say the next one is a tie, simply because it does the same things for me. So I've started Bleach with Dan, and so I'm not fully into it yet. So obviously Bleach could go up higher, but Demon Slayer and Bleach, because they do kind of like the same like atmospheric stuff when they are doing their fights with like either the hollows or the demons. It's like this like very ominous and just creepy atmosphere, and like they do this like this song they use for that is like really cool. Like when Bleach, like the hollows, it like all the music cuts out and it's just like their very eerie screams of the hollows. And then with Demon Slayer, it's like that one song that it plays, it's like very eerie with like the bells and stuff. So that one, just because they do the same thing, I probably would put Bleach a bit higher, but just because they do the same things, I really like that one. Was that 3 so far? I think so.
Something like that.
And then I would probably say, I gotta go My Hero Academia. I love the soundtrack for My Hero Academia. All the fight music, like All Might's theme, and like that final battle between All Might and All For One is like, it's so good. And so yeah, I'd probably definitely say My Hero Academia's got really good soundtrack, and it does the music well. Like it knows when to do, the super epic music and the build up, very well. So
solid choice.
And then last, my favorite anime, Tokyo Ghoul. I love Tokyo Ghoul's soundtrack.
I was waiting for you to say this, and I had it in my mind to make a point that he didn't mention it yet. But then, of course, I had to know it was going to be the last one.
I love that show, and just everything about it.
It is good.
So
It's
good.
very, very
It's
good.
very well done.
Yeah.
A couple more I didn't mention, I guess. Honestly, Naruto.
Naruto's
Naruto
amazing.
was really well
Despair. Great OST track.
Yes.
And Steins Gate, actually.
done. Steins Gate was really good.
Steins Gate's really good, and Code Geass.
Code Geass was
All
on my
have
honorable mentions.
Pretty good soundtracks.
Another one that actually was just different, and it stuck out to me when I watched it back in the day, just because it was so different. Fooly Cooley.
That's a very good one.
I'm not sure how many of you here have seen that.
Fooly
But
Cooley is crazy anime.
it really is very
I've never
crazy.
even heard of it.
But the soundtrack was just so different from everything else I'd ever heard that it stuck out to me. I can still think of it to this day. So
Most people would say Cowboy Bebop.
That one's. I like that one.
You like the smooth jazz.
I've not watched the whole show, so I don't know it.
You
I
like
can't
jazz?
say that, but I do. From what I've heard, it is a very nice.
It is
soundtrack.
really
It's
good.
really
and
well
it fits
done,
the
but-
anime well. It's not my favorite,
I was-
but it is. It's very, very good.
it's very well done, but like him, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
So
Watch the Netflix adaptation.
Did you watch it?
Is it out?
I don't think it
it's
is.
not the
I'll say-
live action isn't out yet,
I think
but they
it's a
did add
series.
the actual
Yeah.
anime series on Netflix.
Did they? I want to watch it. That's one that's been on my list for a while.
Like it's a
'Cause
really
it's not
good
that long.
anime.
It's not that long, and it's
So,
something that I've heard really good things
pretty,
about. So.
critically acclaimed one there.
Mhm.
I just thought of a topic that you guys could discuss another time too, and I can't believe this is actually gonna come out of my mouth, but you just made me think of it. Live action adaptations of animes that you think are the best ones.
Those don't go together.
I can think of one good one.
Best live
See,
action
that's
does not
like
go
a
together.
topic,
One
well,
that
that's what
I
I'm saying.
liked,
Like they're
just
not gonna
one.
be great, but because I know no one likes the live adaptations. But if
I've
you,
not seen many.
I just
or
figured
why that is.
that's a good topic
because
for you guys.
anime it doesn't respond to the same
No.
art medium.
I just figured that'd be a good topic
Doesn't.
for you
You
guys.
see
for
It's an
the-
interesting one, yeah.
The visual aesthetic is essential to anime.
no, and I get that. That's why I said like
and just the tropes, the how people emotionally react and stuff works like in anime because they are tropes.
Mm-hmm.
If people do that same thing in live action, it looks
it's super
stupid.
cringe. It's super cringe.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No, that's just. I figured that's just an idea for you guys for the future.
It's a good one.
That's a good.
It's a good
We'll
one.
talk about that sometime.
I
Why they
can't believe I
stink.
recommended it, but there
Good
you
job,
go.
Jordan.
It popped
Well,
in my head.
I mean,
I watched
What
the
is
Death
it?
Note one.
I mean,
and that was
I
terrible.
get it. You guys all like
mean-
it, and there's people
and I
that
mean,
watch that enjoy
Death
it.
Note's
So
decent for a soundtrack as well, but
Yeah.
Soundtrack wise, yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan of the anime as a whole either. Like, not
True.
the most popular opinion, but
Yeah. I haven't watched
I
it,
get it.
quite yet, but the movie sucks.
oh, the movie.
As much as I love, what's his name?
Willem Dafoe
Willem Dafoe, that movie sucks.
as Ryuk.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was kind of cool.
Like, that was the only good part of the movie.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie sucked.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
yeah. Just
Yes.
wanted
I
to.
wish we could just like listen to samples
That would be
Oh,
cool, but
to explain why we
unfortunately,
think.
Yeah.
unfortunately, I don't think we quite get away with that
But-
copyright.
No,
wise.
I mean, we probably could, because all that's going to happen is YouTube would say, hey, your video's demonetized. All the money you get's going to go to them, but we don't have monetization anyway, so it doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
There we go.
it's like when I was down in
All
Atlanta,
Might's theme.
when I was visiting Logan, I was vlogging the trip, and we went to Waffle House, and I put a clip of a song in there. And I'm like, this is going to get copyright, but like, who cares? Because I'm not monetized. And sure enough, it got copyright strike, or whatever. Not strike, I guess, but claimed, I guess. That's the more
claimed.
proper term. It got a copyright claim. So all the money that I'm supposed to make on that is going to go to whoever made the song. And I'm like, well, clearly there is no money to be made, because you need 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. So no hope for me making money on YouTube anytime soon. So that's basically
It
that.
just
But
goes viral and you make money.
I mean, if one video does, I'm okay with that, because that just means I'd hit those two things. I can get monetized on the rest of the stuff.
No, but no one watches anything else.
Yeah,
that would
Just
be
that video.
that would be so sad. But anyways, would you like to
Sure.
go on to your topic then? Unless you guys have anything else
No,
to
that's,
add.
that's good.
about it.
I think
good.
I think y'all
That was
covered
just
that.
the second
so.
part of my series of them. So you'll get
Alright.
another one in that series next month. So
And that will be movies.
yeah, that's my
Movie
favorite movie
soundtrack.
There
soundtracks.
you go.
Mine-
So
All
Look
by
forward to
1%
that out
pretty much.
there.
But yes, no, mine was I want to talk about esports. And specifically like esports professionals versus normal sports athletes, professionals, and the societal views of them and our views of them, and just discussion there. What do you guys
Okay,
think?
so I can actually piss off a lot of people here. I don't think that they're athletes at all.
Okay.
I think athlete would be, you have to work out and actually exert yourself physically, and I don't think that this is from someone that, makes money playing video games. I don't think you can say
At a high level though.
Yeah.
no, but
it's different.
even then, like I don't even call it a sport. I think it's a competitive
It's an
game.
e-sport.
Esports.
What I will say is this: even in sports, there's some people who have to just have natural talent and
Yeah.
are just better than
See-
others, and that is actually true here as well.
No, and I agree
and you have to
100%.
realize that there's a natural talent some people have. Like they have better hand-eye coordination, better actions
Nope.
per
The
minute.
reflexes are crazy.
You're
and
absolutely
they actually
right.
have to keep training those to
Yeah.
keep them sharp.
They still. Yeah,
So
You
you're-
realize they
you
do have
are
to
right.
keep practicing that.
No, and I'm
And
aware.
that takes training.
I just
So
don't
I would
consider it a
actually
sport.
argue they are athletes and they do deserve some respect.
Yeah.
Assume that they
Yeah.
keep themselves up and actually dedicate themselves to their craft.
Yeah.
I just don't see them as athletes, and I don't see it as a sport.
Well, that's
They're
your.
an e-sport. It's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
Well, it has the word sport in it. I just like I don't consider, and I get this is gonna get some hate too. I don't consider NASCAR drivers like they.
that actually takes ridiculous.
I
endurance.
know it takes like endurance and stuff, but I don't know. I
He
feel
just-
like
If it isn't like football or basketball, he doesn't believe it's a sport.
Yeah.
well, no,
And
I mean you got like football, basketball, baseball, hockey, lacrosse, soccer, like the ones.
But
that-
golf.
That's borderline for me.
See, and that's
See,
your
I-
definition
that's
of
where
sports
your,
is not correct.
That's
my
where
opinion.
your argument goes downhill though.
Yeah, because literally, like all of those, like NASCAR, golf, like those are sports. Just because
They
they're not
they
getting-
are
not because
but
they're just not because they're getting jacked and like working out 24/7 and doing drills 24/7. Like that's that's obviously a side of sports with football and basketball. And being a sports guy myself and loving basketball and football, like that is definitely
Is there
sports.
competition? That's
But
the big question.
exactly, and that's like golf is a sport. Like they have to work out, they have to golf constantly to be
Yeah.
good at the game. NASCAR, it is insane to drive one of those cars. Like it looks easy, and like you like, oh, I'm driving down the street, I can do this. Like
It's
it is
just
a
seconds
complete-
of reaction time
Exactly.
and to know what you have to do and how to do it.
oh yeah,
correctly.
Exactly.
absolutely,
And then
The
even-
same
absolutely.
thing
Even-
in video games.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
exactly.
it takes the same
No,
fortitude sometimes or athletic or like physical ability. That's
Yeah,
not what I'm saying.
exactly.
But it takes the same amount of effort given
Yeah.
and to put it into it to create your talent to cultivate that,
Mm-hmm.
and the same amount of maybe will or desire in that scheme of things, and because it's a competition at a very, very high level.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, so I
Agreed.
think it obviously takes skill. It is competitive, but I think there's a difference between athletes and gamers. I think there's a difference. I don't know.
Well, there is. Not all gamers are esports athletes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
I consider
separate
myself
them.
a gamer,
Yeah.
I think
Same.
there's
even a pretty decent one.
in
but
my mind though there's a huge difference between people that play professional sports versus people that play competitive games for a living. I see that as a huge difference. I don't think it takes the same. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like at that point you can kind of start getting into like, okay, some sports aren't actual sports. Like an example of that is when you get into like the fighting scene, boxing and MMA.
That's absolutely a sport.
Boxing, Floyd Mayweather would get destroyed by any MMA fighter probably. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a completely different game. But it's not taking away from Floyd Mayweather. He's an
It's a
incredible
different set of
boxer.
rules.
It's a
One of
different
the
set of
greatest
rules,
of all time. Yeah.
different training stuff, and it's not easier or harder. It's just a different game.
How much effort does it take?
And that's And when you look at
To reach
esports
that
nowadays,
level.
Not anywhere near the same amount of level.
You're out of your mind if you don't think so.
No, I'm saying it's not even close to the gaming scene. I don't think you can compare a professional boxer to someone that plays Counter
the
Strike.
amount of hours they put into,
And absolute dedication.
obviously the training is completely different, and the training
You're
is more
thinking
strenuous.
Physical training
Yeah.
and more like technical training as completely different things, and one is greater than the other because it requires physical prowess.
See, and I think that's athletic then. We're going with esports and
Electronic athletes,
Yeah.
esports athletes.
see, and I don't think you can have the word athlete in that. That's
It is though.
It is.
It
And
depends
with
on
good
your
reason.
definition of athlete.
not with my definition then.
Oh, that's fine.
That's-
that's what we're.
that's
talking
what we're
about,
discussing.
but-
Yeah,
So-
I know. That's what you guys are just trying to shoot me down with every corner. That's all I'm saying. I
Well,
just,
you
Oh.
threw
I-
out your opinion and then we countered.
It's
see,
true.
I don't think it's the same at all. I feel like
That's okay.
with boxers and MMA fighters and any athlete that has to exert themselves physically, and you're putting blood, sweat, and tears into the sport, I don't think they're on the same level at all as someone that sits at a desk and flicks a mouse. I just-
Controller.
Okay, not many professional.
A lot of first-person shooters
Yeah.
are console.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess there you go. Either way, I don't see it as anywhere close to being the same thing. I think it takes a high level of skill. It takes a lot of training, like you said, it takes a lot of practice. I just don't see it as a sport.
What does
What's a
football
sport?
take?
Yeah. What is a sport?
A lot of training and a high level of understanding of that sport.
Physical exertion of training yourself. I don't think that's really.
So your definition purely is just physical.
Yeah.
That's all you're.
That's
getting.
all you're considering for sports. It has to be physical.
I think when you're playing a high end game, like any sport you'd see on TV, any of the big sports that people
What
know.
about purely mental sports, like chess? That's considered a sport, an Olympic
Yeah.
sport.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, and in my mind, that's just more of it can be more of a high end game. It's not.
You think that doesn't take the technical prowess more so than probably most physical sports?
See, I
amount
think
of
I think
knowledge-
sport as physically. I don't think and
Sure.
yes, mental as well. Like it has to take both of them.
Yeah.
Obviously you got to think about the football player you're going to run. You got to think
There's
about
intangibles.
like there's a lot of in my mind there's a lot of different ways you could go about this. I think you get sports like football, baseball, soccer, hockey, basketball, like anything. I think that's one category that takes the physical and mental to the utmost extreme to play professionally, and then you get
Occasionally.
well, I'd say all the time.
I don't know.
I don't
There's some
think-
dumb
I don't
football
think-
players out there.
Well, there's dumb football players, but they have the mental fortitude to have the work ethic to
Or just instinctual through
last in the league.
repetition. But
Well, I mean, even then, that takes even repeating the same thing over and over is going to take
Yeah.
some sort of mental fortitude. I don't know. Because I obviously never made it never made it past high school football. But even with that, I wouldn't say, the esports team at the high school is anywhere close to being like the same athletic. Like, yeah, they both have their place, but it's not like I wouldn't consider them to be athletes when they just play the games. That I don't know.
Or esports athletes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not an athlete though.
But it's in the name.
It's in the
I
name.
know it's in the name, but I feel like it's one of
You
those
just
things.
don't hold them to the same.
I think it's mislabeled.
Okay. I think your definition is mislabeled.
Yeah.
I would agree with what he
I
just
understand
said
what you're
myself,
saying, and I
but-
understand why you're saying it. But you think some of that is because it's so new as well?
See, I wouldn't even say because it's so new. I think even in 20, 30 years, it'd be this. I'd be thinking the same thing. Does
don't
it have
think
its
so,
place? Yes, sure. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
Sure, yeah.
Because you're watching these players that I'll never be able to be that good at games,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that I suck at every game I play.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't think you can consider them to be athletes.
Okay.
I feel
Well,
like,
it's valid. I'm just
and that's what I'm saying. Like I can consider it to be high level gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider it to be high level sport.
Well,
Is-
then that's where
Yeah.
we kind of differ.
And
And
when you-
definition of what a sport is.
And when you
Yeah.
say e-sport, and I get that it's electronic,
it just means it's digital, but it's the same thing.
yes,
It's
but
digital.
I don't see it as having the same definition to the word sport.
I can get you on your definition for athlete. I can.
Yeah.
I
I-
can't get you on your definition for sport though. That's where you fall off. I think.
Yeah, because the definition, I just looked it up, what the definition of sport is, and it says, a sport is generally recognized as a system of activities based in physical athleticism or physical dexterity, with major competitions such as the Olympic Games admitting only sports meeting this definition. And dexterity is literally, if you look at it, it's fine motor skills and the coordination of small muscles and movement with the eyes, usually involving the synchronization of hands and fingers. So
And how would you define gaming?
that's what that is.
See,
So from a actual definition of the, like it,
So you're
dictionary.
saying a thief in Skyrim isn't the same as a warrior in Skyrim. That dexterity stat. It's through the roof, man.
See, I don't consider them to be
So-
athletes. I don't consider that to be sports. I think high level gaming is not the same thing as a
I
sport.
think it's the exact same
Yeah,
thing as a
it
sport.
It is actually a sport, so
The competitiveness, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
But okay,
I mean,
moving
you're
on from that
entitled to
point.
your opinion.
So we've understood each other on that side. Like
Yeah.
we've gotten to
Mhm.
what we think on that.
Mhm.
So, also before I say that, I want you to look up an interview with Rick Fox. You know who Rick Fox is? Was on the Lakers Hall of Famer. I think he's Hall of Famer.
Okay.
NBA player.
Okay.
Um,
For some reason, my mind went
He has
Ric
an interview
Flair,
with,
and I was like, "That's obviously not the
with
same."
Hector Rodriguez, the CEO of Optic Gaming.
Okay.
Fantastic interview, and he'll go into depth on what he believes through the esports and regular sports, intermingling type thing. Really good. Check that out if you want. But okay, so what do you think for professionals
Mm-hmm.
getting paid?
Go for it.
What do you think relatives though?
I think
As in what?
So let's say this. What's the largest NFL contract right now? Is it still Mahomes?
I think so.
Probably, yeah.
What, 200 million or something like that?
Something stupid, yeah.
I agree. That's very stupid for someone who just throws a ball around in our basic, basic verbs and nouns right there. He
Oh,
just
this year he's
throws-
doing
He
horrible.
just throws a ball around. Is that worth $250 million?
Okay, so here, from my bank account perspective, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at the amount of money that he brings in to that
That's
team
exactly
and to
where
that
it all
league,
comes from.
then
That's
yes.
what it is.
So
Relative, right?
So that's what I'm
So I
saying.
see that.
Yes. So they deserve to get paid relative to what they bring in. I mean, that's the same thing you could say with the NBA and the WNBA. NBA contracts are massive. Like they're some
Yeah.
of the biggest.
WNBA doesn't make crap.
And that's
Doesn't
that's the
make
thing.
The
The
NBA keeps
WNBA
that alive.
and the WNBA makes literally nothing. Oh, not literally nothing, but
It's not a
you
wage
know
gap,
what I
guys.
mean.
No.
Like it. So the contracts are
Sure.
huge. Like they're vastly different. So that makes sense though because
Uh-huh.
they don't bring in the same amount of money.
I agree
Not even
completely.
So
close.
pay them relative to the same amount of money that they bring in. So when
Mhm.
you're talking about the games and stuff, like yeah, sure, pay them for what.
So
they bring
right
in.
now, let's just throw in the Call of Duty League.
okay,
Yeah.
It's pretty new. It's got a couple, I think 3 years now, maybe 2 or 3 years now. It's been its huge thing. Top tier players are getting. I think the bare minimum, like the minimum wage for them is $50K a year. Top tier players are getting upwards of $300K. People are just like scoffing at that. That's unbelievable. You play a video game and you get paid that.
See, and
What's your view on that thought?
I'm fine with that. But I'm
Okay.
also, a Twitch streamer.
Sure.
I make money in games in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting the contracts or whatever, but I
Sure.
mean, it's still I make money playing games, right? And that's
Yeah.
so I understand that. So that's fine to me. And honestly, if they get paid more, they get paid more. Good for them.
Yeah.
Like that's great.
And it's only going to go up.
It is only going to
It's
go
only
up.
going to get bigger.
The only thing you're going to hear an argument from me is when you call them athletes, and that's going to be my argument.
Okay,
like
that's
that,
fine argument.
I still think they deserve to make as much money as they
Sports
bring
is
in.
gonna-
Yeah.
I'll disagree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay, but either way, I mean that's not the
Sure.
question here. So yeah, I think it's fine. Let them make their money.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
find
see an
it
issue.
laughable that people are like, wow, you play video games and you're getting paid money.
Yeah.
When,
Well, I mean,
when
It's an old
down
school
to brass facts,
idea.
you're throwing around an inflatable ball for
Yeah.
lots of money.
I think it's an old
Like-
school mentality. It's like,
And I love
you know,
sports, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
oh, I think we all do here, except for
No,
Weston.
Weston
I don't
doesn't
care
care
about
That's why I
but
said except for
It's
Weston.
it's just
I-
the old school
I agree
mentality.
with you.
Like
I know.
people
it's
don't
new.
understand.
People hate that new stuff.
Yeah, and it's the idea that people don't understand how much video games mean now and like how influential they are in
Right.
society, and that I wouldn't argue with you at all that saying esports it puts as much effort into or like the same amount and same level as like NFL professionals do, because obviously
They
that's
do.
not the case. Like in the same sense of like they don't work out as much and like they don't do the same things and like they don't
Physically.
physically
Physical effort,
Yes,
maybe.
exactly.
Mhm.
Effort
But
in general, absolutely.
effort in general, I'd say yes, but at the same time, like
Look at what they have to do daily.
I get that they have to practice daily and they do skills
Over
like,
full-time job of practicing the game that they're trying to master.
See, and I get that. I don't know if it's the same. Like with NFL athletes, they wake up early, they watch their diet, they work out, they review film, they
Yeah.
yep,
And
They go do
esports
all
this.
athletes do
night.
the exact
They
same
do
thing.
those exact same things.
exactly. They do.
They actually do.
I still think it's the same amount of physical exertion or
So
even
physical, right there. That's
Yeah,
what you're
it's
saying.
That's
not
all
physical.
you're
You're stuck
thinking.
on that. You're stuck
Yeah.
on
You're
that.
stuck on
because I'm
physical.
thinking with the phrase athlete, and that's not.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the phrase sports.
Just sports. Yeah.
Exactly.
And if you're, what are you called if you are, top tier something, a person that plays sports?
Mm-hmm. An athlete.
Usually it's called an athlete.
Yeah.
I
They
just-
kind of go hand in hand. So if you come up with another name for it, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
But that's just what it goes with it, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I get that's where they, the terms are mingled together. I can't consider them athletes. I don't know. I have friends that are ex-professional gamers. Like they used to play competitively. That was their job, right? I would tell them to their face, yeah, like that's cool, but I wouldn't say you're an athlete.
That's fine.
Like
you can believe that. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
fine.
It's up to you to decide there in the video watchers. But, yes,
I'm gonna get so much hate in the comments on this.
it's all right.
You get hate anyway.
You can believe what you want.
You can't win.
No one can
Yeah.
fault you for that.
It's true.
But I just find it funny that we're also like the U.S. is so like one viewed and doesn't look out at the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like your Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
is like nothing compared to like League of Legends top tier players in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Super Bowl, the biggest watched event in the U.S. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worlds, League of Legends every year dwarfs Super Bowl
Yeah.
viewing.
Well, I think that's also though because the Super Bowl is such an Americanized
Yeah.
thing, and the NFL
Yeah.
is
That's why I said we're so centric.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and
You know?
that's the thing. Like so many people around the world play League, so I mean, I get that.
Yeah. People don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like those athletes, those players, for Jordan.
Thank you.
Are literally celebrities in their own countries.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I
And
mean,
they
as
make
they should be.
millions upon millions of dollars.
I mean, and I'm not gonna
Like
argue
it's
that.
just how much does that entertainment mean to watchers and viewers? Like
Yeah.
how much are you going to bring in? How many people are going to be watching?
Yep.
That's really what dictates
Mm-hmm.
your pay a lot of the time.
Yep,
Yep.
as it should.
As it should, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only going to get bigger, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to become way more mainstream. It already has in the last 5 years. It's been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in the next, I don't know, definitely 50, maybe 25, 30, it will be right up there with normal sports.
Yeah, I agree.
See, and I'm not going to argue that one bit. I think it will.
think
I
it'll be
mean,
right up
it's
there.
taking off. And when you brought up the pay, like, let them make as much money as they bring in, you know?
All right.
Like,
Put
everyone,
the board in.
if you bring in X amount of dollars, you should make this amount, you know? Like, that's exactly how it should be. All the people that are complaining about, like Logan said, it's the old school mentality.
Okay.
For those that are complaining, like, oh, yeah, well, you're making $300,000 a year playing a video game. That's stupid. It's like, well, I mean, they're providing entertainment to people, and they're bringing in X amount of money. It's no different than, oh, you make $50,000 an episode when all you do is pretend to be someone on a TV show. I mean, it's like, like they're making X amount of money on the TV show, and they're good at what they do. They're good actors, and that's why they get paid for it. If it's so easy, then you go act. If it's so easy, then you go do it.
Some of them aren't good actors, though.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I'm not going to... Yeah, that's true. Some of them are not good actors at all or actresses at all, but they're hot, so it doesn't matter. That's the mindset of
I don't
a lot of
know. Does that make their acting better?
it. No, it does not, but they get paid more because more people will want to watch them because
And
they're
also,
attractive.
some of their material is just terrible, and it's not their fault. They have to play that person.
Yeah.
But that's just...
Yeah, writing
that's
has a lot
off
to
the
do with
topic,
it.
But yes.
Yes.
But- So
Sure.
I got
I
a
just find
question.
it's
I got a
interesting.
question for Jordan though. So, if you don't consider like esports as sports, right? Then why does the Timberwolves and these NBA teams that have esports teams call them esports?
Because that's what the common phrase of it is. Everyone calls it esports. Now, just because I don't consider
For
it
what
as...
reason?
Yeah, why would they call it? If
Why
don't-
would they call it that if it wasn't?
Because
professional
the
sports
word
teams-
sports is more attractive to people who don't like they're gonna be it's an esports. So
Not
that-
necessarily. It does not attract people like me.
Exactly.
That's true. Less
okay,
than
people
sports.
like you, that's true. But I mean the people
And
that,
I am not just alone.
Yeah,
okay?
like,
There
like
are many like me.
the
in
E
this.
part of that will attract you. So they,
Yeah,
they
but-
take
Not necessarily.
I would say professional gaming event is more.
It's going to be much more attractive.
Yeah, because for people like Weston that could care less about your traditional sports like football and basketball, it's like, oh, it's sports. Like, I don't care.
And honestly,
then-
we're the more likely draw
Exactly.
over those who actually do watch athletic
Exactly.
sports, as you would call them.
See, I think that's just a more common name. So I don't think that's what people know it as now. So they're not going to say, "Oh yeah, check out our professional gaming team," because that's actually a longer name. It doesn't sound as good.
But it makes more sense if
Esport
sports doesn't
sounds
fit.
it sounds good when you say esport.
Not necessarily.
I think it does. I think it makes it sound more attractive.
I
Yeah,
just
but
think-
you're also somebody who enjoys the physical sports.
That's
like
true.
football and basketball. and
That
those.
is very true.
I actually don't like any of those, so it's less attractive for me.
So when he brings up the question, like, why do you think they call it that? I think it's just because it's more, like, the word sport's going to get more people. It's more commonly known. It's more of a marketing thing, I think, than anything to say sport.
Or it could be a sport.
Or it's just a sport.
Yeah. Which by
I think the
definition,
definition...
by definition,
I think
it is.
you have something, like, you can definitely argue for sure your athlete argument. Like, that's
Yeah,
for sure
I would
an
agree with that
argument.
too. But if we look
I
at the
think
definition
if we're
of
going
sport,
about what a sport's definition is, I think you're less likely to win that argument.
See, but then if you go with this way, too, you got to stop making that noise. It's going to be really loud on the recording.
He just does it again.
I know, as he does it
He just
again.
did it.
Like, I know that these microphones are going to pick that up.
Oh, well.
Because you said earlier, like, they're intermingled, you know, like you...
Sure.
So, by that same logic, you consider them athletes because you say sport.
yeah,
Because he goes with it, yeah.
I don't consider it sport because I don't consider it athletic. So
I don't-
if you say they're
I don't
intermingled,
consider them sports just because...
yeah,
I consider them athletes because that goes along with sports. I consider it sport for a different reason.
Yeah.
Because it is a sport by
because
definition.
yeah, by definition,
see, but this is the argument that was what I'm making though is when you say because earlier you said they go hand in hand, right? Like you said that
Sure.
what do you call the top people in the sport? They're considered athletes. If I don't consider it athletes, then I really can't say sport. You know what I mean?
You can, because that's overarching the sport part. That's the definition of what it is. Athlete, it just is the bottom part that goes along with it sometimes, because athletes are the people who play sports.
Yeah.
I mean, even if there weren't, take out all the athletes, all the people who play that, it's still a sport.
yeah. Going back
you know,
to
outside of that.
going back to definitions, the like official definition for athlete is a person who's proficient in sports or other forms of physical exercise. Which sports, if we look at this definition from sports, like we talked about, it's also dexterity, which is
It says sports
gaming.
and
No,
athletics.
in my
Yes.
mind, it is. I mean, we're gonna go in circles all night.
I mean, we're never
Yeah.
gonna go.
We're
anywhere.
never
Just-
going. I don't think we're
Yeah.
ever going to actually agree because in
No.
my mind, it is not
Yeah.
athletes and it's not sports. It's
Yeah.
high level games. It's not
sports.
sports. I consider
That's what your physical sports are. High level games.
no, and I get that, but I consider it to be a mix between the athletic side of things, the mental side of things, with that. And I
Sure.
don't
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
see the
just
same
know
connection.
Sports
I guess.
aren't just fully physical.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. It's not actually a requirement at all.
So I got a question about this then. So we've obviously talked about how the Olympics, anything in the Olympics is officially considered a sport. I definitely think in the future we'll probably have esports in the Olympics. Would you consider it at that point?
I mean, they already have been
Do
in
they?
talks about it.
They've
They're
been
in
talking.
talks.
They
I
guess
have
I
been
have
talking
heard about
about
I
it.
mean,
but
they've
like-
had X Games, Call of Duty at the X Games and stuff.
Yeah. So like,
Mhm.
Like,
yeah. So would you consider at that point, since
What
the
is an
Olympics,
exchange
anything in the
sports?
Olympics has to be considered a sport?
See, and in my mind, it's still not a sport.
See,
I don't
I
know.
think-
That's the thing. Like I can't. I can't call gaming a sport.
The
no matter
challenge,
what.
the challenge I have for that is
that's
in your,
your own block that you're
Yeah,
gonna have to
you're
get
in
over.
Yeah,
your
that's
mind.
your
That
own
doesn't make
block.
it the truth of it. The truth of the matter is, by definition, sports and athlete apply to the esports scene. But just because you can't imagine that doesn't make it not true.
but
you
he
see what I'm
asked
saying?
for our opinion, so I'm giving my opinion.
I did.
That's true.
Mhm.
I'll give you that.
And that's
You can give your
fine.
opinion. That's the whole point of this.
We were
I'm
just
I'm
discussing
just
it.
saying, you know, I'm trying to kind of
We'll never get someone to believe our side
Yeah.
in this ever. So that's not the
Yeah.
point.
Because, like I said,
You won't change my mind. I won't change yours.
yeah,
That's it.
I think that's basically what's going to come down to
But-
here. Because I get the money side when you brought that up. That's fine.
Yeah.
You know, if they bring in a ton of money, then let them make a ton of money. That's
Sure.
exactly how it should be. I mean, that's
Mm-hmm.
why I said the WNBA and the NBA, they play the same game, but one makes
One's much
significantly.
better.
yeah.
Yes, that's true. But one makes significantly more money than the other because it is better. And, so let the contracts show that one makes more money by paying them more. Now, that being said, I think that they're extremely overpaid because, in my mind, no one should get $250 million to play a sport. But at the same time, if they're bringing in $1 billion, like in jersey sales and ad revenue and all this different stuff, then obviously it's worth it because it's a business. You're in it to make money.
Mm-hmm.
So when you brought up the money side of things, that's why I'm completely on board. The only difference we have is I don't consider it to be a sport. I think which just like basketball, it's a game, but one requires a lot more athletic prowess than the other.
Physical. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. That's
Yes.
Yeah.
that's your determination between everything. Is your
Yes.
physical prowess.
Yes.
Although dexterity is physical as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that, but I think more like, you get what I'm
Big
saying.
man muscles.
Yes.
That's what you're thinking.
Until you look at
But,
Rodrigo Blankenship or whatever his name is for the Colts. Is either puncher or kicker.
Yeah, he's a kicker because he's from Georgia.
The super nerdy looking dude. I love that him and
He's
DK
the-
Metcalf can play the same sport professionally. That's so funny to me.
Yeah, I just think, like at Olympics, like what is archery? Requires no physical prowess. You pull back a
Well-
string, that's it.
See, that does though, because I mean, you get resistance and you got to hold it steady.
Yes.
I
that's
mean, you're
dexterity.
pulling back
Your
80
eye,
You're pulling
Finger,
back
hand.
80 pounds of resistance, and you got to be able to
Eye,
hold it and keep it
Finger,
ready.
hand.
yeah.
Eye, finger, hand.
It's
There's
true.
a
Same.
huge difference between pulling back
There
80.
actually is
80
not a big difference.
You don't think there's a difference between pulling back
You-
80 pounds of a draw resistance on a bow versus flicking your
Once
wrist
you
to
get it back,
shoot somebody?
Good. Hold that for what? They hold it for 30 seconds at longest, probably, right? Someone does this for 8 to 10 hours a day. Okay, they literally have to have surgery on their hands because they do it so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I stream for
Like,
6 to
that
8 hours
is
every
effort,
night.
Physical effort.
Yeah.
We're never gonna go anywhere.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
We should probably just end it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're ever going to actually agree. So
No, we won't.
we're just
That
going to call
wasn't
it
the
here
point,
then.
though.
Sure.
I'm down.
I'm down.
I think it's an interesting conversation.
Oh, it
It's
was a-
something that's going to be very huge later on.
Oh yeah, it was a good conversation. I just don't think we're ever going to agree on what the
No, we
definition
won't.
of it is. I guess.
We won't. That's
No.
all right.
And that, I mean, you
That
asked for
wasn't the
opinions.
point.
That was
No, it's just a discussion.
good discussion though, for sure.
It was good.
So, guys, thank you so much for watching episode 23 of Uncalled For. Thank you to Kane for the 3-month subscription, and then Jimmer came in with the Prime sub as well. Thank you to both of you. But this has been episode 23 of Uncalled For, where every single Monday night here on twitch.tv/Huge Media Studios, we get together and we talk about a bunch of random stuff like we did tonight. And we upload 5 days a week over on YouTube, youtube.com/Huge Media. And I know these guys don't like it, but we did make a TikTok.
Garbage.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
I don't
Don't
care.
say the we.
Okay,
Yeah.
the first post on there had over 1,100 views,
don't
which
care.
is
Yeah. I
Did
don't
any of those
either.
1,100 people come here?
well, we keep going. That's I don't think you guys understand the funnel that you can use.
Oh,
to get
I
people here.
understand
I
very
understand.
well.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's it for us. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hanging out. Been a blast as always. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Helps out a lot. I think this one says stream ending. Tim's not here. Well, sorry, we said
Tim's
his name.
dead.
He's dead again. Third week in a row.
He's
Forevermore.
forevermore dead.
It is so sad. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Adios.
Take
bye-bye.
care.
Peace out.